In the rich tapestry of medieval European culture, the Troubadours stand out as a unique and influential group. Originating in the 11th century in the Occitan-speaking regions of modern-day southern France, the Troubadours were composer poets who played a significant role in the courtly entertainment of their time. They not only revolutionized music and poetry, but also left an indelible mark on the cultural and social fabric of medieval Europe. The term troubadour is derived from the Occitan word trobar, which means to compose or to invent. The troubadour tradition began in the late 11th century, with William IX, Duke of Aquitaine, often credited as the first known troubadour. His compositions laid the groundwork for a flourishing tradition of lyric poetry that spread across Europe. The cultural and linguistic environment of Occitania, with its relative political stability and vibrant court life, provided the perfect setting for the emergence of this new form of artistic expression. Troubadour poetry is characterized by its formal structure and thematic diversity. The most common themes include courtly love, known as fin amour, chivalry, and political or moral commentary. Troubadours composed their verses in Occitan, a Romance language distinct from French, which contributed to the unique flavor of their poetry. The typical forms of troubadour songs included the canzo, a love song, sirventes, a political or moral song, and tenso, a debate song. These compositions were often performed with the accompaniment of musical instruments such as the lute, vielle, or harp. Troubadours were integral to the entertainment and cultural life of medieval courts. They served not only as musicians and poets, but also as chroniclers of the social and political events of their time. Their songs often reflected the values and ideals of the aristocracy, emphasizing themes like honor, bravery, and courtly love. In addition to providing entertainment, troubadours played a role in shaping the cultural identity of the courts they served, influencing fashion, manners, and social customs. The troubadours' impact on music and poetry was profound and far-reaching. They introduced new musical forms and poetic structures that influenced subsequent generations of musicians and poets. One of their key contributions was the development of the strophic song, which featured repeated melodies with different lyrics for each stanza. This innovation allowed for greater lyrical expression and complexity in musical compositions. Moreover, the troubadours' emphasis on personal expression and emotional depth in their poetry marked a significant departure from the more formulaic and impersonal literary traditions that preceded them. Their work paved the way for the emergence of the troubadour tradition in other regions, such as the Troubadours in northern France and the Minnesingers in Germany, who adapted and built upon the troubadours' legacy. The troubadour tradition quickly spread beyond the borders of Occitania, influencing the cultural landscapes of neighboring regions. In northern France, the Troubadours adopted the troubadour model, composing their own lyric poetry in Old French. The influence of the troubadours also reached the Iberian Peninsula, where the Troubadourismo tradition flourished in the courts of Portugal and Spain. Similarly, in Germany, the Minnesingers drew inspiration from the troubadours, creating a distinct yet related tradition of courtly love poetry. This cultural diffusion was facilitated by the mobility of the troubadours themselves, many of whom traveled extensively, performing at different courts and interacting with other poets and musicians. The cross-pollination of ideas and styles that resulted from these interactions enriched the literary and musical traditions of Europe, fostering a vibrant and dynamic cultural exchange. Beyond their contributions to music and poetry, troubadours also played a role in social and political commentary. Many troubadours used their art to critique the social norms and political structures of their time. Through their sirventes, they addressed issues such as feudal conflicts, corruption, and the Crusades, often adopting a satirical or critical tone. This aspect of troubadour poetry provided a platform for dissent and reflection, highlighting the potential of art to influence public opinion and social change. An important and often overlooked aspect of the troubadour tradition is the presence of female troubadours known as Troubadours. These women poets, active in the 12th and 13th centuries, composed and performed their own songs, contributing to the rich tapestry of troubadour literature. The Troubadours wrote in the same formal styles as their male counterparts, often focusing on themes of love and personal experience from a distinctly female perspective. Their work provides valuable insights into the lives and voices of medieval women, challenging the male-dominated narratives of the time. The decline of the troubadour tradition began in the late 13th century, as political and social changes swept through Europe. The Albigensian Crusade, 1209 to 1229, and the subsequent repression of Occitan culture by the French crown dealt a severe blow to the troubadours' homeland. Additionally, the rise of new musical and literary forms, such as the Italian sonnet and the French chanson, gradually overshadowed the troubadour style. Despite this decline, the legacy of the troubadours endured. Their innovations in music and poetry continued to influence subsequent generations of artists. The themes and forms developed by the troubadours found echoes in the works of later poets, such as Dante Alighieri and Petrarch, who admired and emulated the troubadours' lyrical mastery. Moreover, the troubadours' emphasis on personal expression and emotional depth resonated with the emerging humanist ideals of the Renaissance, bridging the gap between medieval and modern literary traditions. The troubadours were more than just entertainers, they were cultural innovators whose contributions to music and poetry had a lasting impact on medieval European society. Their work not only enriched the cultural life of the courts they served, but also influenced the broader literary and musical traditions of Europe. By exploring themes of love, chivalry, and social commentary, the troubadours left a legacy that continues to inspire and captivate audiences to this day. Through their art, they bridged the gap between the medieval and modern worlds, laying the foundations for the rich and diverse cultural heritage we enjoy today.